Recording now. It'll show up in a second. All right, so I want to thank everybody for coming today to go over how we will run the virtual Welding CDE. The rules should be showing on the screen. I bought a custom stamp online, a metal stencil. I don't think anybody in the world has one like this. It cost me a few pennies, but I'm gonna stamp those coupons. We start cutting them Thursday, and I'm gonna get them out to everybody every way possible. I may have to mail them to Washington Parish. In my travels, I'll be dropping them off, getting them to you in plenty of time. At the last resort, I'll bring them to LATA, and you'll have a few days to get them beveled. Got several calls from folks that said they wanted to bevel their own metal. When I was a teacher, I would have wanted to do that too, so I'm going to send them a little extra long. They'll probably be about a foot long and about 6 inches wide, and that gives you several inches to heat the metal and get the bevel that you like. But you'll be responsible for beveling the plates. They will be stamped. I'm gonna stamp them where the video showed that F stencil. I'm gonna stamp them in that same area so that if we do a T-weld or a bevel, they still should show up. And it is ultra important that you don't make the mistake and grind that stamp off. Like I say, it's not a stencil that you'll find in a regular set. It's not a letter. It's a symbol, but it's also a custom symbol. So that'll be the one that you weld on the day of the contest. That'll be the one that we want to make sure we harvest back and give to the judges. If one side of the contest medal has a stamp and the other side doesn't, then that's not going to work. We want both sides to maintain that stencil. I'm stamping 100 of these that day, and if I miss one, you get your box and your coupon is missing the stencil, then call me immediately. Don't wait. I'm gonna try to have those coupons out to everybody in plenty of time, and if I make a mistake and forget to, I'm not going to delegate this to a staff. I'm going to stencil them personally in my barn. So if I miss one, it'll be my fault, and I want you to call me and we'll try to get that fixed. So you'll get your plates, you'll get them beveled. We're going to cut and weld on camera. One of the reasons I want to call this meeting today is we got about 3 or 4 weeks until the contest. I wanted to kind of force everybody to log into Microsoft Teams and learn how to use it, make sure their school board wasn't blocking it and all that, because this will be the platform that we use. I know the rule said we'll use the Zoom platform. I'm not allowed to. I could not get clearance to use Zoom, so we'll use Microsoft Teams. All the same rules with kids wearing safety glasses and PPE, tucking in their shirt, having boots on. All of that is still in effect. We'll be looking to make sure the students have that. I don't feel good about teachers just walking out of the shop while the kids are welding. I think for safety reasons, a teacher needs to be in the shop. I don't think this contest is not like Dairy Foods or Nursery Landscape where the teacher can whisper an answer to a student. I mean, you really can't help the kids. If anything, you could hurt them by coaching them during this contest. I don't want to see anybody pointing at plate and giving pointers while the kids are supposed to be welding. I think all of that should be done outside of a contest. So I don't want to see a lot of teaching going on, but for safety purposes, I'm not going to say that we're going to film the teacher leaving the room. We're going to leave like a tech person. Some of you have recruited some tech people from your campus, or a vice principal or another teacher to help you set up the film. I don't think it's fair to that person to leave them in the shop and you just walk away and they're sitting in there in an environment that they're not comfortable with running the computer. So I want you to be involved with the safety of this event. So the stamp needs to stay on the metal at all times. Preach to your kids that when they're cleaning their welds with the buffing wheel. I'm going to hammer it pretty hard. That impression should be there, but by no means do you want to take a flapper disc and make your metal shiny and take the scale off and erase that stamp. That's going to be cause for disqualifications. We want to see each person's team chapter number in school. We showed that in the video with the paint pen. Make sure that's on there so that our judges can fill out the scorecard and assign the points correctly. We may return the medal in the mail. Some of you live in a central location. Maybe you can meet me on the side of the interstate and save $20, $30 on postage. So we'll talk about returning the medal. The coupon's not like an electricity board. I mean, I think we got a little bit of grace period there on that day as far as collecting them that day or even the next morning. I think there's a lot of things you can do differently in welding. I guess you could grind it out and re-weld it if you were that motivated to cheat. But like I was telling the small engines folks, I mean, we're counting on you all being upstanding ag teachers, Louisiana ag teachers that have a long-standing tradition of doing things discreetly and having fidelity. And at the end of the day, we just have to trust that you're not going to be committed to cheating and not allow your boys or girls to cheat in this contest. We want to be able to record the kid tacking up the metal. I'm not going to sit there and watch a kid weld with that bright light shining in the booth all day. One of the reasons I want to see the student in the beginning and make sure it's the same student cutting is I don't want you to bring in a ringer, a professional. I don't know who would do this, and I don't think anybody would, but we still have to try to control as much as we can with cheating. I just want to make sure it's a student and not a dad or a parent or an expert in there doing the weld for the kid. I want to see the metal tacked up in the booth with the stamp showing in the position. If we pick horizontal or vertical or whatever the weld is, I want the teacher to go in there and show me the weld is set up, tacked up, ready to weld with the stamp showing and that it's a student doing the welding. Then you can back out of the booth and be 20 feet away and just kind of point the computer or camera kind of in that general direction. But we're not going to put a Chromebook inside of a welding booth and let sparks and slag and stuff fly all over it. We're not that. It's not that. It's not going to run that way. Is anybody? Well, I'll ask this question when we're done, but I want to know if anybody's got a student welding at home, or if you're pretty much all going to be having kids brought into your school. We'll give you the positions that day. We'll follow the same state rules. Everybody will get 2 jobs. I've had that question texted to me. So we're going to do 2 jobs at state contest, just like we always do. I will send you enough metal for the kids you registered, the number of kids you registered, to do 2 jobs apiece. And we'll give you that 9 o'clock on the day of the contest. I think welding, I was scared of welding, but I think it's one of the more cut and dry, kind of simpler ones to do in a remote format because we're not giving a written exam and we're not using a Scantron and things like that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and open up the floor for questions. Anybody have any questions? If you're having trouble unmuting your mic, you could text me.
Hey, Eric.
I got, yeah, we'll go Scotty, then Mr. Towns. Go ahead, Scotty.
Hey, I just want to clarify. We're okay. We can use one laptop that shows both kids in booth side by side. Is that okay, or do I need one set on each student?
I don't see why. I don't know how your shop's set up, but I don't see why you couldn't use one computer. Like I say, you're going to run that, well, not run it. You're going to walk the computer into the booth, show me what I'm looking for, back it back out, set it on a work table. I mean, you could monitor 2 kids at one computer pretty easy.
Right, because I'll have them cut right in front of their booths. The booths are side by side. So one can show everything. I just want to make sure that was okay.
Yeah, I don't see where each kid would have to have his own monitoring computer.
Good deal. Thank you, sir.
That's a good question. All right, Mr. Towns.
Can we use the camera on our cell phone? Our shop is up on the hill and we don't have Wi-Fi up there.
Yeah, you're gonna so do you have enough cell phone service to
yes,
run your phone? Well, that's what you got to do. Can you log into? Are you logged into Teams right now on your cell phone?
No, sir. I'm logged in on the computer.
Okay. Well, Chad, you got an iPhone, don't you?
Yes, I got an iPhone.
Worst case scenario for you, you can if you can't get into Microsoft Teams, go ahead and download the app. I think you got a couple more Teams coming in today. Try to log into Teams on your phone just today.
Yes. Yes.
Just to see if it works, and if it doesn't work, worst case scenario, we will use FaceTime with you.
All right. Our welding instructor, I'm gonna turn my camera back on so y'all can meet him.
I met him last year at the contest.
No, sir, we've got a new guy now.
Oh, got a new guy? Okay.
This guy I have not put him in as FFA on the welding because he started in February and we got out in March.
Yeah, sure.
Do I need to go ahead and get him in, or is that going to be okay?
This is your instructor?
This is our welding instructor, yes, sir.
We'll just leave everything under your name right now, Chad.
Okay.
And make sure you're gonna be there that day, right?
I will be there, yes, sir.
Well, then we're good. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that and treat you as the instructor until things go back to normal. I'll tell you, I told my staff every week they're not allowed to use the word new normal. This is not normal. This is a temporary thing that we're doing to get by and award these kids these scholarships and give these kids that's been working on this stuff for years a chance to compete. This is not the way I want to do this, or I'm not fired up about doing it this way, for the rest of my career, trust me. And just wanted to put that out there so you knew how I felt about this. Any other questions?
Yeah, Eric, this is John O'Brien. Can you hear me?
Roger?
You're sending the metal tomorrow? Is it Thursday tomorrow?
We're going to start cutting the metal tomorrow and stamping it. That'll take, I've got a contest in the middle of the day. I got to run to Crop Springs and pick up engines. I'll probably be up in my barn tomorrow night stamping these things. And then I got to go to Delhi Friday. So it'll be at the soonest. I'll start getting these out next week. You down there in Fontainebleau, I'm not driving through that area anytime soon. I'll probably just put yours in the mail next week.
Well, no, the reason I'm saying it, I'm only in this meeting because I want to be prepared. Right now, I've been told that we're not competing.
Okay.
But at the same time, I called one parent this morning, and the vibe that I got, the parents are probably going to fight it. And I'm not encouraging that at all. I'm leaving that all up to them. If something happens, I want to be in the loop,
Yeah.
But I don't want you to wait. I don't want you to waste funds sending me metal. That's the reason I was bringing that up.
That's not a big expense, John. We'll have the metal cut, and if you call me in 3 weeks and y'all got approval, I'll overnight it to you, and it's not that big of a deal. You bring up a good point, though. I want to reiterate that I'm not forcing down FFA onto local districts and saying this has to be done. You have to follow the guidelines given by your school, by your parents. You have to screen people. Just like if they're coming in for football practice, you got to follow all the rules that your district is following. I'm not trying to usurp anyone else's authority with these contests. So, John, you and I've talked about this. I mean, if they want to allow it, they want to allow it.
Right.
We're not trying to tell anybody that they have to. If you've got the permission from the school and the parents, and they'll allow you to do it, we're going to maintain social distancing and everything throughout this entire process. So that brings up a good point. And John, you just text me and let me know. I'll send the metal out, and if I'm out $30 or $40 on that, it's no big deal. Anybody else have any other questions?
Eric, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on metal size there, you've got 12 inches by 6 inches by 12 inches. Are you sending 2 of those per team member?
It's 6 inches wide and 8 inches long. Isn't that the dimensions?
Yeah, that's the contest plate. And
I'm sending 2 of those. So you got a foot long stick to build an 8-inch piece out of, and then you get another one. I'm sending 2 of those per student. I didn't want to send you a 10-inch piece. I know some people like to preheat it with a track torch. Some people I used to use a plasma cutter I had set up on an angle, and I didn't have to preheat. But I could make a contest coupon out of an 8.5-inch piece of metal. Some people can't do that using a track torch. So I'm just going to send you. I'm going to take cutting torch, and I'm gonna take that whole 20-foot stick, and I'm gonna cut out. It's 6 inches wide already. I'm gonna cut out a foot-long piece for everybody, and you're gonna get 2 of those. You're not making 2 contest plates out of a foot-long piece. You can't stretch out 16 inches out of a foot. So I'm gonna send you 2 per kit.
Yeah, that's what I had seen somewhere on some paper, some email that you were sending two 12-inch by 6-inch plates per team.
Well, I might have messed that up.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have misspoke or mistyped on that, but yeah,
That's
two,
okay.
two per, it'll be 2 per kid. You got plenty. And look, if, I don't suspect any of you make a mistake on beveling that, but if you was to just mess one up and needed another one, I mean, we got 3 or 4 weeks. I could get you a piece if you boogered one up, but the whole purpose is that my custom stamp gets on there and that comes back with the metal, and that's just to help prevent cheating. I'm gonna give you plenty of metal to work with to build that contest plate.
That's correct. That's good.
All right, anybody else got anything? These are all good questions that I can't think of from my position. All right, great. So I'm gonna edit this recording and send it out just to the people involved. I'm not gonna put it on the listserv. I'm gonna send it out to the people that are registered with welding teams and weren't able to be here. If you're like me and you think of a question 2 hours from now, just call me or text me, and if it's, you know, if it applies to everybody, I'll reply in an email and try to cover everybody's question. In the meantime,
Eric,
yeah.
I got one more thing.
Sure.
I'm going to send you I don't want you to send my metal to the school because there's nobody there at the office. If it goes to the office, there's going to be, they may not leave it. They may take it back or whatever, unless there's somebody there. I'm going to send you another address there and to send it to there, because if it goes to the school and nobody's in the main office there, they'll take it back and come back to somebody's in the.
I know exactly what it's like to get deliveries in July. So let me get it cut and let me kind of get a game plan. I've got some things where I may be running through your area. You know, you live pretty close to Toledo Bend. I might be able to drop it off, but I will not ship it without contacting each one of you with a text message asking where you want me to ship it or drop it off.
Okay.
So I'm not just going to throw it in a. I'm not just going to Google your school address and throw it in the mail and pretend that's going to reach you. I know exactly what that can be like sometimes.
You come anywhere near, I'll come meet you too, because I've got four team members, so that'll be quite a few plates. It could be kind of heavy anyway.
Yeah, and at the last resort, if I brought it to you at LATA, you still got that Monday of the next week to get it beveled.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to have it out before LATA, but that's my goal, is to pick up any loose ends at the conference. So
yeah.
I won't be mailing it out to your schools without contacting you and getting the address that you want me to send it to. Anybody else have any other questions? All right, folks, I'll probably see some of y'all throughout the day with some other events. And like I said, if you think of another question, just email it to me. Have a great one. You can click that hang up button whenever you're ready to leave.